To celebrate the election of a new pope, I shall read an excerpt from the book How to Lose Friends and Annihilate People. I have full permission from both the author and the publisher to do this. Hello, Your Holiness. Kneel. Oh, Lord Accuser? No need to be formal. You can just call me Lord. Now, kneel. I seek an audience, my lord. May I approach, my lord? As fast as your pretty little ruby slippers can carry you, darling. Then kneel. As the Lord Accuser gestured for the cameraman to enter as well, Pope Benedict dawdled like an anxious schoolboy. You know my church, my lord? Some cardinals cowered outside. I followed it closely for centuries. Been there often. Personally, I think the best of it starred Whoopi Goldberg. Kneel. Pope Benedict knelt, trembling and nearly stumbling. The cameraman was anxious to capture every moment and gesture. Live TV had never been so electrifying. Oppressing women, lying about condoms and spreading HIV, conning poor people to fill the Vatican bank, fucking kids and covering it up. I only wish I'd thought of it myself. The Lord Accuser stood with his boots beside Pope Benedict's head. You did mention me, though, I suppose, just a bit. Of course, it is one thing to have a metaphor for everything we call evil. It is another to control people with the image of a boogeyman, like saying you're the only protection. Go with me, or the big man with the knife will get you. The accuser now knelt beside the Pope, somehow both whispering and shouting simultaneously. But just so I can be sure you are who I know you are, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Would that be all right? Pope Benedict was silent, his eyes screwed shut. The accuser leaned over him, and with a mixture of malice and mockery he hissed, Would that be all right? Yes. Yes, what? Yes, my lord. A puddle began slowly to emerge from below the Pope's vestments. It was partly the fear, and partly the humiliation of bowing before a woman, especially a fucking lesbian. The Lord Accuser clicked his fingers, and the panther kitten, whose name, incidentally, was Josephine, strode over and began to lap it up. It saved on mops. Most decadent man on earth, living in obscene luxury, with no idea about the lives he condemns to AIDS and starvation, and yet dares to crack jokes about third world countries? Yes, my lord. A man who dares to cast aspersions on the morality of others while complicit in child rape, a de facto nonce? Yes, my lord. An ignorant, backward fucktard and a deity, jumped-up, thieving, crooked little con man? Yes, my lord. Leader of the world's biggest fraudulent charity, where most of the money ends up in your bank? Yes, my lord. Guilty of so much suffering and death that Al-Qaeda must envy you? Yes, my lord. A transparent fraud? Yes, my lord. Head of an organization in which members delude themselves they do good when any good is vastly outweighed by the wickedness and harm? Or else merely, at best, goes some small way to tidying up the mess the organization itself chooses to cause, while again lining its own pockets? Yes, my lord. The most destructive, evil, corrupt body of people on the globe or in global history? Yes, my lord. Inheritor of a Nazi cult and business, yet dares to blame non-believers for fascism and tyranny? Yes, my lord. Claims all non-Catholics will definitely burn in hell? Yes, my lord. As far from Jesus as a man could possibly be, so much so, it's like you're trying to get it wrong. Head of a place Jesus would not recognize as having anything to do with him, and which would not recognize him. A place that, were he here, would doubtless crucify him. Yes, my lord. Pope Benedict was a little confused for a moment, but the name Jesus did sound a trifle familiar. A toady little cardinal who'd been hiding behind the back pew ran up to His Holiness to remind him that Jesus was that bloke from all the crucifixes. Hater of every woman in the world? Yes, my lord. Spreader of fatal disease, for which you then blame gays? Yes, my lord. Willful enabler of child rape, for which you then blame gays? Yes, my lord. The pathetic, narcissistic little maggot that hides away in its rabbit hole like a dirty little pussy. I do apologize, I'm mixing my metaphors. The accuser spat and dribbled phlegm and spittle onto the Pope's crumpled, sobbing face. Are you my little piggy? Yes, my lord. Tell me you're my little piggy. I'm your little piggy. You are my little piggy what? I am your little piggy, my lord.